If you're a student in New Jersey's Hopewell Valley Regional School District, Merry Christmas. Your teachers have just been told that they can't assign you too much homework. On Monday, the school board voted unanimously to limit homework hours. The idea sprung from the documentary Race to Nowhere, which shows how too much school. Let me try this again, Press. I should have done my homework. The movie shows how too much homework can lead school children to feel overwhelmed and depressed. Under the new regulations, third graders, for example, will be assigned no more than 30 minutes of homework per day, and homework will not be assigned on weekends or over winter or spring breaks. At the high school, the rules give general homework guidelines for required core classes, but the wide variety of courses could make it difficult to set a standard limit, the district said. And if they're doing the homework for you were saying if they're doing homework for more than 30 minutes?
There's a timer. According to the story, there was a timer that if it went beyond, the kid took too long to do the homework, they'd have to finish it, and they go to school, and their parents would be there with them and say that they took too much time. All I know is when I was at Stepanak, right here in White Plains, if I had this, I'd be very happy. But
sure.
At the same time, the priests, the nuns, and the lay teachers over there, we're not about to abide by this kind of stuff. I'm just curious what happens if you go to a private school in that community or anywhere else. It doesn't work.
At first blush, it just seems very difficult to maintain that, and it seems very difficult for teachers to plan that way. I mean, what did they all do? Have a call every morning before they go in, or a meeting or something to figure out exactly how much time it's going to? It doesn't really make a lot of sense, especially when they all have to meet state standards and they have to take state tests and things like that. I mean, it doesn't seem implementable.
Pay me now or pay me later. You got to catch up on the studies. You got kids.
I think I'm the only one at the table with kids, so I will give you both sides in a nutshell. When you have state standards, parents are panicked more than the kids all year round to make sure that you're ready to take that test with the threat of you being left back if you don't pass. So I want to say that, and then I also want to point out to the other extreme. I remember, Andrew, being in Osaka, Japan, and I got depressed because it was Saturday, and we went to a school, and all the kids were there learning on a Saturday, But it is difficult for the parents. You do a full day, I'll say what's politically unpopular here. You do a full day's work, you come home, you've got to sit down with the kid and go over the homework, and it's 3 hours of homework. So, I mean, I understand the standards, and we all want our kids to go to Harvard University and Yale, but sometimes it is a little too much for the parents.
And there are more strains on kids today than when we were kids, between sports and other activities that they're supposed to do.
But you shouldn't use that time when you're done to sit there for 3 hours and play PlayStation 3.
Yeah, and maybe the answer here is longer school days in tutoring. That's available.
Maybe we just assign homework on PlayStation 3 and it gets done easily.
Or their Netflix or their iPhones and things like that, right?
Right. iPad your homework.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of iPhones and iPads, how close of a relationship do you have with your phone? Many people sleep with their phones. For some, it's the first thing they see in the morning, the last thing they see at night. They keep their schedules, our personal information. But would you trust your phone with your life? Listen to this. New reports indicate that a new Siri feature on the iPhone is designed to help prevent suicide. If Siri thinks that the user is contemplating suicide, Siri will offer to call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline on your behalf. Personally, I would be, if my phone suggested that, I'd be like,
you weren't suicidal before, but you are now.
Right. Is this sort of an end around mental health because we don't seem to focus on mental health the way we do on physical health?
I'd like Siri to be able to get me a beer at night when I'm watching TV or a glass of wine or something, or a cigar.
Can I call Alcoholics Anonymous for you? I mean, that seems to be where it's going. Are we asking the phone to do something that we should be?
I mean, suicide is nothing to laugh about or joke about. But I just don't understand how this is going to work. I mean, what would happen?
I think it hears some of your different. It hears different things that you're requesting.
Why are you focusing on me?
Because you asked me the question, Dominic. But if
I'm only joking.
This is much more about technology, I think, than about suicide. I think it's about any technology being able to take all those data points. I mean, it could be the emails. It could be, what if it sees you're fighting with your girlfriend or your spouse or whoever it is?
Or what if you're driving 75 miles an hour in a 55?
You got your GPS on. You don't know all these things.
Bad enough that the NSA knew that you were feeling a little down in the dumps, but now Siri's monitoring you too. I don't know. It seems like it's one
and
step
will
too many.
Siri talk to us? I mean,
She's not going to make you feel better. It's not like she's programmed to coax you out of your bad mood or.
If you go to your shrink
That's
every week
next.
and skip a week, does she say something about that too? I don't get the.
yeah, I mean, and what would Siri say? I mean,
I know what she'd say.
What?
We'll be right back to wrap up this edition of RFL after a quick break.
Good save.
Thank you.